What's up, guys? My name is Alex, and I want to share with you how I overcame social anxiety because I know a lot of people struggle with this, and it's not just like a simple problem. It's not a small problem in your life because people with social anxiety, it's really hard to reach your potential and really have true happiness in life because as human beings, we're social creatures. So with social anxiety, you have a really tough time connecting with others, and it makes just overall life just not fun. See, I want to share with you how I overcame it because I know it's very possible for anyone else to overcome it. I used to have social anxiety, through middle school, high school, college. It was basically around college time. I tried a lot of self-help programs, self-help books, all that sort of stuff. Some of them specifically for social anxiety, and they're really helpful to develop, good mindsets, more inner game to just be more positive and makes you more motivated. But the ending of these programs usually tell you to go do the exposure, which is crucially necessary if you want to overcome social anxiety. And they kind of just tell you, yeah, you're done the program, now go do these exercises. And it's really hard when you're taking an online course and, doing it by yourself, doing these exercises, like real life exercises by yourself. It's really hard to do by yourself. And, I wasn't able, I tried a couple of times doing it, and then I kind of just slid off and didn't do it consistently. So about 3 months ago in October, I still had social anxiety, and I knew I had to figure this problem out. It was actually after I read this book called Principles by Ray Dalio, and it's really just good general life book on how to really think about your goals and look at the problems in your life and really dissect those problems and try to find the root cause of these problems and then actually tackle these problems head on. And the problem, that I had was social anxiety. So I basically found the root cause of the problem and had to design a plan on how to actually tackle that problem. And the root cause, if you look at all your problems related to social anxiety and you trace it back to a pattern, you find that the root cause of social anxiety is the fear. It can basically be summed up to the fear of rejection. Fear of embarrassment, fear of rejection. Basically that. So basically what the fear of rejection is, it doesn't necessarily mean someone's going to straight up completely reject you when you're talking to them. Usually that doesn't happen in life. But, you get, subtle body language or anything like that the person is just not accepting you. And once you're in that fear of rejection, you get very anxious and your mind basically gets hijacked, and there's some really deep psychological stuff. We're not going to talk about that right now. But basically makes you incapable of just being comfortable and being able to be yourself when you're in this anxious state. So a couple months ago, in October, after I realized I still had to fix this problem, and I realized that the underlying problem was fear of rejection. And I also watched these videos. This guy made a TED Talk about rejection therapy. Basically what you do is you do all these sort of exercises, all these crazy exercises, not crazy, but out of the ordinary, and then you go out to strangers and basically do these exercises. And I made a meetup group in New York City because there wasn't actually anything for that. So I knew I needed to do this exercise. Like some exercises are go up to someone, ask for $100, ask someone to try their food, stuff that you're very likely to get rejected, and you're going to be rejected, and the other person's going to be looking at you like, "This, what the fuck? What is going on? Something's wrong with you," and you can feel that judgment for sure. And basically, it's getting you to be okay with getting rejected, because the first time you do it, you're very anxious, you're very nervous, but then after it's done, it's like, oh, that wasn't that bad, and then you do more and more, and then you actually just get used to it, and you basically just live a lot more comfortably. So yeah, I made this meetup group in New York City, and yeah, it's a lot easier when you do it with other people because you can hold yourself accountable, and it's just really hard to do it by yourself. You get a lot more anxious when you do it by yourself. So basically, we go around places like Grand Central, very busy places, and just do all these exercises like ask someone for $100, ask someone to give me a compliment, all these stuff and we do more some embarrassment kind of exercises where you kind of embarrass yourself in public, and other people are looking at you, but after you do it, you actually feel really good, and You just the more and more you do it, the less adrenaline you feel, because you kind of just get accustomed to it, and then you're just like okay with getting rejected. And by being okay with getting rejected, you basically just go out and ask for more stuff, and you're not afraid to fail when you're okay to get rejected. So yeah, basically the overall thing is to overcome social anxiety is you really have to just do the exercises and do these, get rejected, because that is underlying fear. And if you can basically prove it to your brain, the subconscious part of your brain, that rejection is okay, because your brain is actually wired to believe that social rejection is like one of the worst things possible. It goes back to some really deep psychological stuff, but it goes back to the way our subconscious amygdala is wired. Like especially caveman time, people were when you got rejected from like your group, it was basically like you're all alone. It's like death. You're not going to survive. And our subconscious part is wired like that, to just completely fear rejection. Once you can prove it to that subconscious part that you can get rejected and it's still nothing's wrong, everything is fine, and you can show it time and time again that it's fine, then actually that part of you doesn't get hijacked when you're in a place where you could get rejected, and you lose that fear. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. If you thought that was helpful, leave a comment. I don't know how YouTube works, if you can message me, but yeah, leave a comment if you have any questions, if you thought this was useful. Yeah, and if it's useful, I can make more videos and answer questions. Cool. Thanks, guys. Bye.